and welcome to Finally Fabulous with me, Kate. Finally Fabulous is a podcast that shines a light on some fabulous women as they embrace their fuck it moments to bring the joy back into their lives. Today I'm here with the wonderful, vivacious Rachelle. Hello, Rachelle.
Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And today's conversation, we're going to be chatting about intentional choices. So where we butt the trend and go against what society tells us we should be doing, should being another word that we're going to talk about, I think, and how you've brilliantly listened to your own compass and really created a life for yourself that fits in with what you want out of life, not what society tells you should be doing, right?
Very much so. Yeah. That's very much how I live my life.
That's fantastic. So we've got absolutely heaps to talk about, including your decisions, which are sometimes impulsive, sometimes not, but generally kind of thought through and grounded. And there's so much that we have to talk about. So let's crack on, dive in.
Yes, thank you very much.
Brilliant. We'd like to talk about fuck it moments, and there's some fuck it moment number one. You've got several, I think, that we're going to talk about today. But one of them is about being disillusioned with big corporations, big organizations. And unfortunately, sometimes that comes with big egos and just like a way of how things are expected to be done and the life path, like career paths that people expect from you. Yeah. And you talked to me about that before, but what would you say made you have this kind of fuck it moment and go, this is just not right for me anymore?
Yeah, I guess it was years in consulting. I kind of like followed the traditional path of going into consulting, did my graduate scheme, followed the kind of the traditional work of like big companies, and just realized that like you have to like really manage your own time. And it's really hard because everyone's just expecting everything in the world of you. Yeah. And maybe being a people pleaser, I would say yes to absolutely everything and then end up being me, the one that was suffering. So doing crazy hours. There's multiple days in consulting where I've done, started at 7 a.m. in the morning, finished at 8 p.m. at night. And I'm like, why? And
actually not really switching off after 8 o'clock either, because you've got to start at 7 in the next morning. Yeah, I've been in that kind of situation as well.
So it was just really frustrating that, everyone would be like, oh, do this, do this, do this. And in consulting especially, I got myself into a place where I was doing probably 5 different jobs. Like if you actually looked at each one of them, each one was an individual job and could have been a full-time job. And actually kind of that, our friend in common makes me think of, it was actually, I was trying to like sell to her, because I was expected to in consulting, trying to sell to her. And she kind of gave me really valuable feedback that I look at the time. At the time, it was hard to hear, but now I look back and I'm like, that was just so valuable. She was like, I'm not buying your consultancy, I'm buying you. Right. And that was kind of the seed in my mind to go, oh, maybe I could leave this and do something different and work for myself. And, she's been my repeat client. So being self-employed, I've worked with her again at Sky, which obviously we have in common as well. You just need those people to actually believe in you and just say those little things that just plant the seed to believe in yourself.
Yeah. And so you just mentioned then that you then set up your own business, your own contracting job to do that. And how have you enjoyed that along the way?
I look back and it was like, the best decision I've made. So I've done it for 4 years now, 5 years in September. And basically it was originally just done as an experiment. We kind of knew we were getting married in a year's time. And we were going to go on an extreme version of a sabbatical, which I'm sure we'll come to.
We definitely are going to come to that.
And so I just went, you know what, like I'm working crazy hours at the moment. It was just after the pandemic or in the middle of the pandemic. And I was like, screw it, I'm just going to do an experiment and give contracting a go. And during that year, until the point of us getting married, I had the Navy, a client, and then also Sky. So then Paula came back to me as my second client, which was brilliant. Just amazing to then, shape the work that I wanted to do with the clients and actually see the value that I could bring, not a consultancy, not a tick box exercise, like this kind of pragmatic kind of agile that I wanted to apply to them, and actually was able to listen and give them what they needed rather than just, you know, what I was expected to.
Following a process and a way that consultancy does things.
Yeah.
And I imagine that you did an amount of creating what you provided to them with them. So it was probably like quite a lot of collaboration. I imagine.
It's always been like me working with people, kind of partnering with people. And, you know, that's the best thing, because consultancies would always expect you to like try to create a product and just deliver in that way, in that product, so that they could build it into a case study.
Yeah.
Whereas since I've been self-employed, I've just gone, no, I'm working with you. What do you need? Do you need a bit of Scrum? Do you need a bit of Kanban? Do you need a bit of Scrumban?
Yeah.
You know, finding...
Whatever those things mean.
Yeah.
I'm thinking rugby now, so we don't want to go down England rugby.
So just basically
just creating stuff. Listening.
Using those kind of consulting, coaching skills to find, you know, what works for them. And that's what I really enjoy the most, is being able to sell me and not like a product that someone else is expecting me to sell.
No, it's really freeing, actually. I do the same thing, and I worked for massive communications agencies and all sorts of things, and I was ready to leave and do something different when I was actually made redundant, and it was the perfect thing that happened. Not financially, because I was a single mother at the time, but it did give me the push to go, right, I just can't do that anymore. I have to do something different, and I'm not happy doing what I'm doing. And I want to just do something that's more creative and different, and it really did give me the push to do it. And just full of, quite an ideaful person, quite creative thinker. And I was just being pushed into boxes that I couldn't break out of to do that work. So I really appreciate what you're saying. I can really identify with that. And just create your own narrative, don't you?
Yeah. And I think the whole redundancy thing, I've never been made redundant myself, but I do strongly believe anyone that I know has been made redundant, it's the best thing that happens to them.
If you are able to think like that, then it's not so scary. And you don't get so worried about everything. It's like, don't worry, there's another life that's going to come. You can do it.
Seeing them as chapters, ultimately, we're just this massive book of different chapters, and what's going to be the next one.
What was it like working with the Navy?
It was just really cool, because every team I worked with was so different, and ultimately they were just using Agile to improve their ways of working for their jobs, which actually is related to what I'm like, kind of the chapter that I'm figuring out at the moment is using Agile to help people run businesses, like for the work that they do.
Just describe to us what Agile is. What do you mean when you say that?
Yeah, good question. So Agile is, if you think about traditional project management, you have a 1,000-line plan, and everything has milestones, and you need to achieve this. Everything has dependencies, and you're like, this leads to this and leads to this. And
one of those massive big Excel spreadsheet type project planner thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very daunting.
Yeah, which is constantly out of date and really frustrating. So Agile is the complete opposite of that. And it encourages teams to have just a backlog of work. So like a long to-do list of what are the things that you might do, but none of them are commitments. They're like ideas, experiments, like kind of things that you might go after. And then you agree only the next 2 weeks or a week, depending on what you're working in. That's our scope. So you like set like a small kind of chunk of scope. And then depending on what you discover during that 2 weeks, you then adapt what's the next 2 weeks. So you might take what's on the backlog, or you might take in new work because you've learned something you didn't previously know. And that's what I love about Agile, and it probably aligns to my life completely, is you're not like setting everything in stone. You're allowing yourself to go on that journey to discover things. And then like go
building,
on.
You're constantly building, constantly learning.
Another reason why I love being self-employed is being able to align to your energy. So I've discovered that I'm really productive in the morning, and then really productive from 5 till 7, which probably explains why I did a lot of like 7 o'clock finishes. But like 2 till 4 or 2 till 4:30 for me, I just procrastinate
I'm actually really
hard.
the same. Now you've said that out loud, I'm thinking I'm actually the same. That's when I go, I've got to go out for a walk. I literally can't sit here anymore, I'm going to fall asleep.
And when you're in a traditional job, you force yourself through it.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just wait for the productivity to come back, and then you end up working late.
Yes.
Whereas being self-employed, like this week, I've gone for multiple walks like during that time, and then come back and like been like in the zone.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same, actually. Actually, my hours are literally that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's really helped. It's like I'm going to let myself off now, those hours.
Yeah.
Because I do work often 5 till 7, 8, 9. You know, I can do that late shift. So, and what about the hardest part of running your own business that people don't see? I mean, you know, the thing for me was the shock of being all of the departments.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what something's gone wrong with my computer. I don't know how to make it work.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll sit on the phone with Microsoft for 5 hours and they'll say, oh no, it's Google. Oh no, it's actually your Apple Mac, or you need to talk to them. And there are some hard stuff behind the scenes, aren't there?
Yeah, it's everything. Sales, marketing.
Yeah.
Following up on every conversation that's in your head.
Yeah.
Never really truly switching off, because ideas come to you and you're like, oh, I need to write that down.
Social media manager, and that's why, you know, you can't be on your phone. I've just been on holiday, and it's like if I just to be on my phone is work. That's really hard to switch it off. And I was like, put it away and read a book.
Yeah. I use an app called The Brick, which is like a physical item which sticks on your fridge, and you basically walk up to it and touch it, which basically locks all your apps. So like LinkedIn, like I have to lock, because I get really like addicted to it. And I'm like, oh, I did a post, like, how's it doing? Are people commenting on it? Are people liking it? So I have to brick it every so often.
That's a great idea.
And you can only unbrick it by walking up to the fridge and touching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna take note of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I recommend it in this whole, you know, generation of all of us being addicted to our phones.
I mean, for me, the positives still outweigh.
Oh yeah. Working for yourself, being able to say yes to opportunities, like follow the energy. Like energy for me is a big thing. And if something energizes me, I want to do more of it. So doing podcasts and going to conferences, like networking, all that sort of stuff, like I absolutely love. If I worked for a company, you'd only have a limited amount of days to be able to do that, like, you know, development days or whatever they called them. You couldn't just say yes to things. You had to like plan it into the allocated days that you have. And
if you had to go through the budget process to get signed off and all that boring stuff, like, I just want to go. Because you can see the value in doing these things. And also I find when I go on those networking things, or, you know, actually it could be girls' lunch, it could be anything at all. That doesn't have to be work related. It's I get energy from people. I think you might be similar to me. And so if you're working all day and you're on Teams calls and everything, that's one. I'm interacting with people. That's fine. But if I'm head down doing some work, I have to get out and see people. You know, I have to go for a walk around the block, or I have to, like you say, book in to go for a lunch or a networking session or something, just to see people and get out.
Like it's amazing kind of going to these events and things. Like last year I got a bit addicted to them. I kind of went to quite a few conferences and podcasts, but just getting out there and meeting people and the conversations that you end up having is,
Well, you stumbled onto a networking session when you were on holiday just recently, didn't you?
Oh my God. I've just got back from 5 weeks traveling around South Africa.
Incredible.
Because January is miserable month, so we go away every January. So we went, screw it, like let's every January make a commitment to ourselves, a vow to ourselves to just go away and do a big trip. That for us as well was a new challenge, because we'd never been to the African continent, like full stop. So we kind of wanted to kind of push ourselves out of our comfort zone. Even us, you know, we traveled quite a lot. That was like a new kind of stretch. And on the last day, we kind of booked into a nice hotel, which is like 3 hours away from Johannesburg, as like basically a stopover to just go, let's have a bit of luxury for our last day, chill, enjoy the sun before we have to fly home. And sitting there chilling. And then I just saw these ladies like setting up this event, and I was like, that looks really cool. So my curiosity got the better of me, went over, asked them what they were setting up for. And it was an international women's kind of thing. Like it was women empowered event, sorry.
Wow.
Oh, it's just so nice to just network with, you know, empowered women on the other side of the world who are all running their businesses.
I bet you learned loads of things as well in a different way. And actually, we're talking next about as a woman, you know, in spaces that can be quite male dominated, and how, you know, it's how, when have you felt kind of most visible, and also kind of like the most invisible, because it's quite easy, isn't it, to feel. We talked earlier about having like just one in a consultancy or a massive organisation, and everything that's expected from you. And it can, you know, we, you know, really want to talk openly about how to succeed as a woman, and just to see the difference between what success is and what you think that is, and actually fulfillment, in like life fulfillment is quite different, isn't it? And how do you kind of stand out? You know, what's your kind of feeling about that? Your thoughts on that?
I think for me, it's the realization of just not saying yes to everything. Like, you can be in charge of your own workload. So if I was to go back to that, I feel like maybe now I could be, you know, set my boundaries a little bit better. And I would encourage anyone to set their boundaries.
And when you say that, I mean, because it can be quite daunting to do that. So what kind of things do you think that, like in real life, what kind of things do you think that looks like?
I think it's like prioritization. So kind of, you know, making it clear to your manager or whoever you're working with to be like, okay, well, this is on my workload. If I say yes to this, this is going to give. Like, I can't do everything. Like, something is going to have to drop, and having those open conversations. Because ultimately
and just being honest, isn't it? You have to be honest, and don't worry about speaking out. You know, so what's the worst that can happen? They just say, sorry, but you've got to get it all done, and then you end up in the same thing, and then you can think yourself about whether that's what you want to do or not. But there's not much that could go wrong with that conversation.
Because ultimately the only person that's in charge of your workload is you, like, as a person. And being able to kind of just manage that and have those open conversations, I think, is really important.
It's interesting. It's a topic that's come up quite a few times on the podcast, and so it's obviously something that we're still interestingly battling with. You know, there's still a stigma around that, and I think there's more work for us to do on that, isn't there? For sure. And the theme of kind of questioning the way that things done, like, shows up in your life so many times, and it kind of, we have to definitely talk about your fuck it moment, which we love. Alice and I absolutely love this one. 18 months travel break.
Yes.
No less than 500 days in 21 countries.
Yeah.
You have to tell us about some of that.
Yeah. So we don't do things by halves. So this was basically our extreme version of a honeymoon. So we bought a one-way flight to Mexico. And then in the end did Central America, South America, and Southeast Asia.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And what was any kind of highlights that you want to share with us?
Oh, so many. Yeah. So kind of setting ourselves challenges as well, like, during it was incredible. So the thing that comes to mind is conquering, or almost conquering, a 6,000 meter mountain in Bolivia.
Wow.
I got to 5,500 because of altitude sickness.
Right.
But I still am so, like, proud of that, because that's the same level as Everest Base Camp.
Wow.
So I've got to Everest Base Camp level. And just doing crazy things like that, you know, planning it the week before, just going like, oh, this sounds cool, should we do that?
how hard can that be, 5,000 meters?
Yeah. And it's like extreme difficulty, but, you know, we did it, and you know, the feeling afterwards is incredible. It was insane. The views were just absolutely stunning. So that was really cool. There was loads of, like, challenging things. We did, you know, multiple multi-day hiking things, and Galapagos Islands, like, snorkeling was amazing.
Gorgeous. And one of our friends had just come back from the Galapagos, and she's like, I took 20,000 pictures. Yeah. My phone ridiculous. Is insane. There's thousands of pictures. It's literally just walking into a David Attenborough TV program. So it's just so wonderful to see everything in its own habitat.
And
I think a lot of this comes down to your personality, And you talked to me about the fact you have this woo character, which I love, absolutely love that, woo.
Yeah.
So what kind of, explain to us what you mean by that kind of woo character.
Yeah, so that comes from Gallup Strengths,
Okay.
which is like an assessment where you can identify what your top 5 strengths are, and then you can like extend it to then identify more. But in my top 5, I think my number 1 or 2 is woo, which is basically kind of like I collect friends from every walks of life, like everywhere. If I kind
Including
of
me now. Yeah. So we have a new friend.
Yeah. I'm sure we will be.
I'm sure we will be as well.
So tonight I'm actually meeting up with some friends we made in Brazil.
Oh, brilliant.
Who we like just travelled around Brazil as a group.
Oh, nice.
And they now live round the corner from us in London. So we've sort of become a group. So yeah, kind of all walks of life. I kind of try to connect with people as much as possible.
Fantastic. So was there anything that surprised you about your personality or about you during your travels? Well, the travels generally. Has there anything kind of come out that you thought, oh, that's actually a different part of me I didn't know, or any learnings?
Yeah. So the learning that I've been on the last like year or so, especially since getting back from traveling, is I highly likely have a neurodiverse brain.
Okay.
And I noticed that traveling because a lot of travelers were also very, in the politest way possible, ADHD.
Right.
We can't sit still. We like to explore and adventure and see all the countries. And the friends that we were making, I like noticed it. And then noticing it in them, I kind of then started to like look inward and kind of reflect on myself. And the big realization came from last year. I went to inclusive facilitation.
Right.
Purely from a standpoint I facilitate lots of workshops and training. So I was like, I want to be able to facilitate in an inclusive way.
Yes.
Went to the kind of conference, and then every single session I was like, oh my God, this is me. This is me. This is me.
The realization, the penny dropped.
Yeah, the penny definitely dropped and ended up crying my eyes out. And I remembered then, zoomed back into my childhood. It never kind of came easy to me. Like I've always done well at school, but I worked hard. And also a conversation with my aunt that I remembered. So she actually come to one of my parents' evenings because my mum was working.
Yeah.
And they were basically saying that I was like, I had potential, but I wasn't applying myself. I was getting really distracted. I was looking out the window, like I wasn't doing my homework, long list of basically like ADHD things of not being able to focus. My aunt felt kind of the need to sit me down and go, if you carry on like this, like you're not going to do well in life, and you're not going to, she's really successful. She was like, you're not going to be able to do the things that I can do in my life and go on holiday. And, she's always been an inspiration to me.
Yeah.
And then ever since that conversation, I genuinely would, find ways to try to work hard, but just recognize that it's never been easy, even though, I guess I might be high performing or whatever, I've done well in my life. It's never came easy. I have to work hard at it. And I think it was just all of that, just coming together, that just hit me. And I was like, oh, okay, this is me.
Yeah.
And, you kind of just having that realization, just having that acceptance of going, okay, maybe I am ADHD.
So did it make you sad when you realised that?
Yeah,
well, it did.
Yeah, sad for kind of child me.
Yeah, sad for and sad for not knowing it before when you could have worked a way around how to deal with it. Yeah, I can see how that would be.
Never kind of understood my brain, and I recommend everyone to go to therapy.
Absolutely, I do as well.
Yeah, my theme of therapy has been not good enough.
Yeah,
and that's a common ADHD thing.
I have a similar not good enough thing as well. Yeah,
you're constantly told sit still, be calm, concentrate, all of these negative things because you're like whereas a neurotypical brain is a lot calmer, so you don't get told off as much as a neurodiverse brain. So then you develop this not good enough kind of feeling. And so, yeah, it was that as well, just like years of therapy, kind of knowing that that's my not good enough thing, but never knowing why.
Why? Yeah. Or what to do about it.
Yeah.
And now you probably have some tools.
Yeah.
At your disposal, because that would have also given you the reason why when you're working, you worked harder and harder because you knew you had to work hard.
Yeah.
But not why.
Yeah.
And when to say no, this isn't for me anymore.
What was really nice was there's a lady who's like in the Agile community that I see quite a lot at conferences, including that one. So I had a heart-to-heart with her, and then a couple of months later saw her again, and she was like, oh my God, Rachelle, like you've really come out of your shell. Like, because I think because I accepted my brain, like I'm not diagnosed, but I've just accepted it. I'm hopefully now living my like authentic self. And she was like, you can literally see it. You're radiating this light that you didn't have before.
Oh, that's giving me goosebumps. That's fantastic.
It was such a nice conversation. I was like, oh my God.
It's just brilliant. It's just out in the open. And for you to actually realise something about yourself and like shed a shell, shed an outer layer to release yourself. That's fantastic, and let's hope that other people can do that earlier in their life. And it's not again, it's all for me. It's all about this. Do this is what you expect. This is what we expect. You have to kind of conform and fit into to someone. You have your personality almost has to be that way as well. It doesn't allow you to be who you are. And hopefully now we can break out of that more and more.
I was thinking about this the other day. So 7 years ago, I went to continuous improvement for me is like a big deal. I went to this course called Love Brain.
That sounds good.
Yeah, purely because I kept forgetting things. So my working memory, which is an ADHD thing, now I understand, didn't at the 7 years ago, went to that to be like, how can I improve my memory? And the course itself was incredible. It was 4 days, 8 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night. And because they truly understand the way your brains work, like they kept us engaged and energized all of the 4 days.
Wow.
But to 10 o'clock at night, you're like, I want more. But
really?
You have
you
to
weren't
go home
exhausted? You weren't exhausted at all?
Yeah, so it's absolute genius. But now I look back and I'm like, oh, that was me trying to understand my brain. I still hadn't come to the realization yet.
So if you redid that course now, you might get something completely different out of it.
Yeah.
And one thing we always talk about in the podcast is the importance of our tribe and community around us, and who's in your tribe, who supports you. And you talked earlier around collecting people on your way.
I think it's that in terms of I wouldn't necessarily say I have a tribe. I think I have communities, and I have different friends or different like connections for different reasons. I guess advice my aunt gave me in the early days was you have friends for like life, a season or a reason.
I like that.
Yeah. And I think
for life, a season or a reason. I like that.
So
really
some
good.
are like, through your work period or London period or whatever that may be, or a reason specifically, like we're traveling with them.
Yes.
So it's kind of quite a nice way to be like, okay, I can connect with anyone. I don't need to keep my world small. I can kind of expand it in different ways.
I have different friends across different areas as well. It's like, and I have friends all over the world, like you do as well. You just post something or just pop them a WhatsApp, and it's like, hey girlfriend, what's happening here? Or I just saw that happen. And then you're like into like a conversation for an hour, and then I go, I must go to bed. And then off they pop. Now we were looking at what does joy look like for you now, because you've experienced so many things. You've got many, many, many more different lives to you, I reckon, still to come. Many more January adventures. That's the time that you're picking, isn't it? So what do you think joy looks like to you now?
I think just embracing life and whatever ends up being, just kind of accepting that it's a journey, and figuring things out as we go. Also embracing the slow as well. I'm very like but also just being okay to like not do something, have chill evenings and not have to plan things every day.
What does a chill evening look like for you though?
just watching the TV, like
Okay.
chill. Like,
So it is actually chilling.
Yeah, like any other person. Yeah,
It's not chilling, but actually I'm actually doing this.
No, yeah. I can, when I like zone into the chill, I can chill.
I like that, zoning into the chill. That's a good one.
And then I'll probably hopefully do a marathon this year.
Okay.
So that kind of
watch this space.
Yeah. Just kind of having that challenge as well to kind of keep fitness at the forefront.
And then just also about work that feels aligned and human.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's really important just to feel like you can be yourself at work and don't be this prescribed person that's dictated to you. And work and think about the environment that you're in. So it might not just be you, it could be the environment you're in that's not right for you.
Yeah. That kind of people first approach, and actually also like in what you wear as well. Looking back to corporate world, I'd be like very kind of stiff in like a dress, like and heels, which I hate wearing heels. It's really uncomfortable. As now I'm embracing trainers all the time because they're just more comfortable. Wearing colour as well, like accepting kind of that energy.
Yes.
Which I never went looking back allowed myself to have. So it's nice to actually just be like, I can be comfortable.
Bit of you.
And it's a shirt, but like it's colourful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're colourful in yourself. So.
Yeah. Thanks.
So we need to talk about some fabulous takeaways for everybody. So when somebody feels stuck in their kind of expected path, what would you want them to know? What can we give them as some tips? So one thing is not following the default path.
Allowing life to just figure it out, and also embracing the fact that life is short. So like if you have these pulls to do things, not going like, oh, I can't because of this, like figure out why can't you? Like how can you make it work? Like what can you change to actually follow those feelings in life? Yeah.
And you don't have to decide to like to the nth degree and plan to everything to the nth degree, just testing, learning, like you're talking about. That's really powerful.
Yeah. Following information that comes to you, I think, is really powerful. So not needing to have everything figured out. You might have some milestones that you want to work towards, but just kind of listening to information that comes to you based on what you learn in life, and kind of, taking that information and taking it forward in life. Yeah.
Pay attention to the energy. Energy is massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And energy can be in yourself, in your daily life.
Yeah.
Just at home and just, whatever you're doing with things, as well as through your work. It can be anything, can't it?
Yeah. Working patterns, when you're productive, when you're not productive, listen to those moments and learn from it. Not just kind of force through just because that's what people say you should be working. Actually kind of see what lights you up, see what energizes you, and follow that. And then design a life that feels spacious and intentional. Make those intentional choices. Absolutely. Travel, see the world. Like the world is there to be seen. Every time we travel, we learn something new, we experience things, we kind of have that confidence in yourself. And I truly think like the world is there to be embraced. And
you've seen quite a lot of it, and there's still more to see.
Yes. The list keeps growing. We thought we'd get it out of our system, and now it's very much embedded in the system.
I don't think so. I think you've still got, how many countries still got to go? You must have 170 or something. 100 and something. Wow.
So the number now I think is 47 that I've seen of the world, and there's 190.
I think that's right.
So there's a lot.
You better get organised. You haven't got time to sit here.
Exactly. Let's get off.
Well, Rachelle, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being here today. And I have to say that I think you are finally fabulous.
Oh,
definitely
you
are.
much.
I hope you're fabulous in yourself. You've really shared some amazing things with us today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I'm so glad Paula connected us.
Yeah. Thank you, Paula.